injury. You know, he's always had an issue during his career with his ankles, but...
Here's Anthony Slater, who is always on the beat for The Athletic, covering the Warriors, saying Steph Curry twisted his left ankle late third quarter, spent rest of his time trying to stretch it out, entered middle of the fourth quarter and immediately tweaked it again, limped to the locker room with Mike Dunleavy, who is the team's general manager, going down to the tunnels. This is massive, massive breaking news here, as we will monitor this and give you the very latest news as soon as we get any from the Golden State Warriors. But listen, we talked about the roster Mike Dunleavy created around this team. Maybe not more talented than they've ever had, but certainly a lot more depth than they've had in the last couple of years. But none of that matters, Coach. None of that matters if Steph Curry's injured.
Dude, he's everything. He's the engine that gets them going. He's the guy that creates shots for everybody, because when he comes off that screen, he's going to get doubled. He'd always have three people around him. He creates shots for everybody. If he goes down, who's the guy? Who's your point guard? Who's your ball handler? Who's your best shooter? Who's your number one scorer? He's all those things. And so I just can't see them winning hardly at all without Steph Curry. It's going to be tough with them because of the way the team is designed. And you know this. It's unnatural in the NBA to play 10, 11 guys.
Yeah.
That just don't happen. You know, how long are you going to get away with that? But to lose him, he's the everything. He sets the table for everything that they do. He creates all the easy opportunity. And he's the best passer. So without him, how do you make the offense flow easy? And the way their offense is designed, he has to be on the floor to make it work.
Yeah, we had talked during the break about how perfect Golden State was going to have to play to have a chance to be in the playoffs. Without Steph, you got to now go into talent assessment mode. You know what that means? Like, it's, hey, we're going to play these guys. Thank you, Draymond. We're going to play you sparingly. But, like, Steph creates so much havoc on the floor. It's just, even though the ball may be over here, you're like, where is Steph?
Everybody leaning.
Everyone
leaning towards him.
And what he's going to do for the young guys, Kuminga, Moody, right? Obviously, the younger guys, is that he takes the pressure off them every night, right? Because the best defender, your best two defenders are going to be there.
That's right.
And then you're going to need to play a certain lineup to make sure that Steph can only do so much. But if you get to play somebody's flat-out lineup, straight up with this roster that they have, it's gonna be a long year.
Ask yourself this: look at what Tyrese Maxey is having to do without Paul George and Joel Embiid.
Right.
Look at the amount of shots, 30-something shots tonight. Who's gonna do that? Who's capable? People don't understand. Everybody get happy when the star goes out. We get more shots, but you have to understand. You have to know how to get good shots in the NBA game. Yeah. Think about this. Giannis got 11 field goal attempts tonight. In an NBA game, Giannis. So people think because the stars are out, you're going to automatically get more shots. No, you have to know how to get a quality shot in the NBA.
Well, the guy people obviously will look towards now, and we don't know if Steph's going to miss any time. But again, we know that ankle and the history of Steph, the guy we're going to look to is Jonathan Kuminga, right? The guy that didn't get the contract extension done before the season started, the guy who's going to play with a chip on his shoulder this year, looking to something to prove. If Steph Curry would have missed any significant portion of the time, the opportunity is there for him.
We understand that, but this is the problem. He can put up numbers, but if those numbers don't equate to winning, then what?
Right.
You get paid, and especially Golden State Warriors, they pay you for winning.
Well, how about this? Warriors were down by 13. They're now on a 12 came back into the game, and this was in the fourth quarter. So Warriors, when Steph left, they were down by 10. They just cut the deficit to 1. Clippers go back up by 4. Remember, Golden State came into this game 2-0. The Clippers 1-1. We will take you out to Chase Center as soon as we are contractually allowed to do so, which is just moments from now in a 105-100 game. This is a wild circumstance, right? The game that the Clippers lost the other night against the Suns, the Clipper fans are going to have heart palpitation if they lose this one without Steph Curry.
Yeah, it's hard. You have this whole game plan. You have all the things that you scouted, and all of a sudden that gigantic thing is not there. And everyone's playing freedom of mind on Golden State. So they running plays that they haven't run before. Guys are in different positions. So it takes you a couple minutes to adjust to that. I think the Clippers are going to pull this one away. But now here's another problem for Golden State. Who are you running plays for now?
Well, so far it's been Andrew Wiggins. He's got 11 points in this fourth quarter. Your former player with Minnesota.
Yeah, and I like what Steve Kerr has done. Moved him back to that two-guard position to try to get some size. Steve Kerr understands they're a small basketball team. Yeah. So if I don't have a 7-foot center and a 6'11" power forward, let me, on the back end of my lineup, let me get some size. Let me start a 6'7" two-guarder Andrew Wiggins. Let me start a 6'8" small forward in Kuminga. Steph Curry is 6'4" in the point guard position. I got to try to create some size and some disadvantages because right now we're at such a disadvantage size-wise, rebound-wise, physicality-wise. I got to do something. Now, they can adjust and figure this out tonight. If Steph Curry misses any time, that's when it's going to be tough because now when you come in for practice and everybody starts looking around getting ready for a game, who's that guy?
Let's show you what Wiggins just did moments ago to make it a 3-point.
122.
All right, so a timeout with 40 seconds to play. It is now a 111-104 lead. So the Clippers answered what was a 17-7 run by Golden State, which cut the deficit to 1. But again, the story in this game, the story in the NBA right now, is everyone is focused on Steph Curry limping off the court with an apparent ankle injury. Back here live at our NBA TV studios, Sam Mitchell, Channing Frye, Jared Greenberg. We will continue to monitor this story. As soon as we have any developments on Steph Curry's status, we will bring that to you. Just give you the upcoming schedule here for Golden State. They've got a couple of days at home against New Orleans coming up midweek before they hit the road for a long road trip next weekend. So obviously the Warriors are going to be cautious. We're going to wait and see what happens with this, but everything starts and finishes with Steph Curry with Golden State.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, he is the son of that universe, as he should be, four-time champion. To me, one thing, and as we see here, they're running a lot of plays for Wiggins.
So the Warriors lose their first game of the season, but the story coming out of this game is Steph Curry. If you're just joining us, Curry left the game in the fourth quarter, hobbled straight to the locker room. He initially appeared to injure his ankle in the third quarter, went back into the game in the fourth, back to the locker room. The reporters who were covering the game saw Warriors general manager Mike Dunleavy go back to the locker room with Curry. We still have not heard any more news. Here's the second time Curry appears to injure the ankle, upper left corner of your screen. Curry just hobbles straight back there to the Warriors locker room. That is the story of the night in the NBA right now, with Curry getting injured and leaving the game.
To me, it just seems like those muscles had already been stretched in the third quarter. He's wearing ankle braces. He knows he has. To most players, that wouldn't be an alarming thing. You'd be like, oh, he's going to be fine. Whoa, messed up your laptop.
Yeah, be careful.
I'd be fine in a day or two. But you got to be over. Yes, the history of it. And now, players, when they start getting non-contact injuries, you really have to assess, like, hey, instead of maybe one game, maybe it's 3 games.
Maybe it's a week.
Maybe it's a
2
week,
weeks.
especially for what the Warriors need Steph to be. They need Steph to be almost MVP caliber Steph for them to compete every single night in this hard time.
And I'm sure the questions will be asked after the game. Did Steph force his way back into the game after that first injury?
No, he can't. You're the coach. Player can't force his way. He can say whatever he wants. At the end of the day, you're the coach. You're supposed to protect him. The player's supposed to want to play.
Yeah.
That's why he's a Hall of Famer. That's why he's great. That's why he's an All-Star. That's why he's a champion. He's supposed to fight you and want to play. But you're supposed to fight it back and say no, especially this year with this team, because this is not a championship caliber team. You just signed him to an extension, right? So if you want any best of Steph going forward, set him down. Don't let him fight his way back into the game, and you make him understand. Steph understands it. He just got caught up in the moment. But you as the coach, you're the adult. No matter what he says, he can't check himself into a game. No.
Yeah, I mean, this early in the season, I don't think he would do that.
No.
Played in the Olympics.
Right.
Coming off, obviously not the best of seasons last year. He knows what's at stake this year. He knows the amount of pressure that's on his back to be that leader, that point guard, that Hall of Famer. So for me, I just think he was like, oh, it doesn't feel that bad, right? I'm in great shape. We're ready to go. But it's 3 games into the season. You want to be cautious, right? You want to be cautious and make sure that you're playing as 100% as you can be.
Steph Curry has only played in 70 games in an NBA season one time over the last 7 seasons. That happened to be last year.
So what does that tell you?
No.
Dude, wear and tear. My man went to what?
And then you know how many champions finals he done been to? People forget. He's probably played an extra 3 seasons when you count the playoffs and runs he's been on, if not more.
Dude, let's just, we're going to monitor this situation. As soon as we get more on Curry, we'll bring it along to you. The flip side of this, Clippers continue to win close games, or their second win. They continue to be in close games, I should say. And the presence of Ivica Zubac, who maybe because of the personnel around him the last several years has not gotten the attention or even the touches because of Kawhi and Paul George. This dude tonight, 23 points, 17 rebounds. The Clippers won this game tonight in the paint, outscoring Golden State 58 coach to 38. 58 to 38 in the paint.
Because Ty Lue can coach. Ty Lue is not stupid. He's looking out there saying we have a height advantage, a size advantage at just about every position. Look at that. When Harden gets into the paint, all Zubac got to do is get to the front of that rim. Again, he sets that pick. Look at this. Who's going to stop him? There's no one's down there to contest him. He's posting up Trey Jackson, Davis. Look at this.
No,
I'm going to hit you with the little jump hook over the left shoulder, man. This dude, the footwork, look at this. And then the defense down there, the size. Here he is down there on the post again. What are you going to do when you're giving up 50 pounds? Kuminga comes over to try to help. That's just like a gnat, man, just buzzing in your ear. Get on out of here. Again, look at this play. Watch how the C parts. Look at the shot goes up. The defense collapsed, man. There's nothing you can do with that size. You cannot make up for size, especially at that center and power forward position.
To me, one thing about that is Big Zubac is unselfish. Every time he gets the ball, he's looking, what is the best situation I need to be, or where do I need to be for my team to win? And he was going to work down there. On that screen and roll, they trust him to make decisions. You saw the quick kick out to Norman Powell. You saw at the end of the game the fake, because he had already passed out, now finishing. Also, that's bad defense by Golden State.
Oh, yeah.
You got to pick up that bigger roller early. You can't think with James Harden out there in the screen and roll.
Who's picking him up, though? Little guy. That's
I know, but you
my
have
point.
to pick the big up early to stop his momentum.
Hey.
You're not meeting him at the top.
Them little guys don't want none of that heat down there, man. With them big guys, 270 rolling. You know that.
They better get some mittens.
Hey,
That's the biggest guys out there.
Let me tell you what you better do. Like Terrell Brandon told us one time, man, that ain't my job in that paint. I stick my hand in there. I touch my toe in there. But I'm not getting in that deep end of the pool with my whole body, baby. Them elbows, you have to remember. Look at my nose, my teeth knocked out. Oh, man, you at elbow length with them 7-footers and 7'1" guys. And when they get them on.
Welcome back to Warriors News.
Warriors fans, we have major news and, unfortunately, a bit of concern tonight. Our beloved Stephen Curry, the very core of the Warriors, twisted his left ankle late in the third quarter during our game against the Clippers. Curry has a long history with ankle issues, and seeing him limp off in the fourth, despite briefly coming back into the game, has left us all on edge. Now, according to Warriors insider Anthony Slater, Curry returned for just a few minutes in the fourth quarter before re-aggravating the ankle and heading to the locker room with our GM, Mike Dunleavy. This development was worrying not only because of Curry's immediate health, but because of how crucial he is to every play, every point, every screen, and every shot that this team takes. He's the one who attracts the double teams, the one who opens up the court, and without him, the whole dynamic shifts. Let's be real, Warriors fans, Curry is the engine of our game. His presence on the court does so much more than just contribute points. He's the leader, the shooter, and the playmaker. Sure, there's depth on this roster. Mike Dunleavy has assembled some strong players, no doubt. We have talent like Jonathan Kuminga ready to prove himself, and Wiggins can fill in as a scorer, as he did tonight, but no one can truly replicate the ease and the flow Curry brings. The Warriors had been undefeated until tonight, so this loss, combined with Curry's possible injury, is a major test early in the season. The team will need to stay strong, and we're hopeful that Steph's injury isn't severe. With the right rest and recovery, there's a good chance he'll be back soon, ready to lead our Dubs to more victories. But what do you think, Warriors Nation? Can our depth hold us through if Curry has to miss a game or two? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us here for all the latest updates and insights on the Warriors. Go Dubs!